Hi yogis, welcome to class. My name is Flo. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very happy to guide you through this beginner sequence today. There was lots of requests to do more beginner style classes. Our classes that we have so far on the channel are a little bit too strong for beginner, and that's absolutely correct. Our style is usually on the stronger side, so beginner doesn't mean that you are not working. It doesn't mean that you will not be maybe sweating, but we keep the beginner classes specifically very accessible. So I'm not asking you to put your leg behind the head or hold a plank for a long time or do any other very strong poses. It's very accessible for everyone, so we designed these beginner classes specifically so that hopefully you can do those if you have 2 arms and 2 legs. Will there be half a push-up? Maybe. Will there be 1 push-up? Maybe as well, yeah, that might come, but I think that's one of the very foundational basic movements that every body with 2 arms, 2 legs should be able to do. So if these classes are hard for you, then that's perfect. Just do those classes more often and stick to the practice. But that being said, we will keep it very simple and very not so strong today, I should say. When you're ready, let's begin in a seated position. You can interlace your hands behind the back, sit nice and tall, close your eyes. Bring your hands over to your left hip, sit nice and tall again. Release the left ear down towards the left shoulder. Gently draw the navel to the spine. Keep the core slightly engaged. Breathe into the right side of your neck. Now the option to stay here, or you can move the head forward, kind of like with the chin to the chest, and then back. So you are making a quarter circle with your head. And all you're looking for is that sensation on the right side of your neck. That's all you're looking for. Doesn't matter how deep you can go or how far the ear is down to the shoulder. As long as you feel that, it's all good. Let's switch sides. Release, bring the hands over to the right hip. Release the right ear down towards the right shoulder. Breathe in and out through the nose. Stay here, or if you like, move the head forward and back. Keep that breath going nice and slow. It's really what it's all about, breathing in and out through the nose with control. To keep the breath nice and calm. Very good. Come back to neutral. Now bring the forearms parallel to the ground out to your sides. The elbows are very close to your upper body, and you're looking for that external rotation in the arms, in the upper arms and the shoulders. So externally rotate the arms, but keep the arms bent. Now you lift your arms and your elbows up away from the ground. Keep that external rotation, and you kind of stop when the elbows are on the same height as your shoulders. Keep that external rotation and move the elbows closer to the rib cage again, towards the body. Very good. So the closer you get, the more intense this gets. Let's do 4 more just like that. Lift up nice and slow. Keep that external rotation. And then bring the elbows slowly in towards the body. Very good. As close as you can. Bring it back up. Let's do 3 more. Keep the breath going. Very good. Last 2. Keep the core engaged. Bring the elbows in. Keep that external rotation. You should be feeling the shoulders, maybe your triceps, maybe something in your upper arms. It's all good. Last one. As close as possible. Very good. Now interlace your hands, interlace your fingers. Start to roll out the wrists. Doesn't matter which direction you do first. We're going to do both. We're not going to be much on our hands today, at least not for planks or for extended periods of times. There will be downward dogs, there will be maybe 1 or 2 planks, tabletop as well, switch directions. But either way, you want to warm up the wrists first before you put any weight on them, even if you're not doing a very strong practice that is very hand or wrist heavy. Very good. Check out the hands. Very good. If you're feeling good, let's continue. Let's come into a puppy pose. The palms on the ground. Walk the feet back so that the hips are right above the knees. Keep the arms nice and long and rest the chest and the forehead down towards the ground. If the chest or the forehead especially, do not touch the ground, that's perfectly fine. You're just hanging out here. And for some, they can go deeper and the forehead might rest down to the ground. For some, even their shoulders are so open that the chest is going down to the ground. Even though this is a beginner video, we have people joining with all sorts of different backgrounds. Some are athletes, some are previous athletes but now are injured and just want to heal. We might have some people with like a dance background or gymnastics and they're new to yoga. So some people that are athletes and lifting and they're very tight. So wherever you're coming from, just focus on the sensation in the body. As long as you feel that, it's all good. Make the breath more important than the pose. So it doesn't matter if you can do all of these shapes, if you can do it through the entire video. If you're breathing in and out through the nose, whatever position you're in, you're practicing yoga. It doesn't matter what shape the body is in. Couple more breaths. Press the fingertips down into the ground. Push the ground away slightly. Keep moving the chest down so you feel the underneath the armpits, underneath the shoulders themselves stretch. Very good. Slowly release, come into a tabletop. So now the hands slide back. The hands are underneath the shoulders. The hips are right above the knees. In this one, I like to stay on the toes, send the hips back towards the heels, so you stretch out the feet and the toes. With your arms straight, you move the shoulders forward as far as possible so that you feel the wrists. And then send the hips back. A couple more like these, just to finish up the wrist warm-up. Again, it's not a very wrist-heavy class, but most of us spend a lot of time in front of a computer or the phone. Really not the best for the wrists, so it's good to do that, even if it's just to counter your day-to-day activities and lifestyle, and not necessarily to create any crazy wrist mobility because you want to do very advanced poses, just to stay healthy and to keep everything in balance. Very good. Let's meet in tabletop. Untuck the toes this time, so you are on the tops of the feet. On your inhale, arch your back, look forward, keep the arms straight. Exhale, round your back, push the ground away, chin to the chest if you can. Inhale, arch your back, look forward. Exhale, round. Let's do 3 more. Moving with the breath, that's all we're doing. We're moving between this cat pose into cow pose on the inhale. Let's meet back in neutral, tabletop. Very good. Now from that tabletop, extend the right leg back and the left arm forward for spine balancing. You reach through the left fingertips forward and back through the right heel. Straighten out through the right leg, straighten your left arm. Draw the navel towards the spine, pull the belly in, press into your right palm. So this might get a little bit challenging on the right shoulder because you're holding your weight there. Keep pressing into the palms, stay with the breath, it's all good. Such a beneficial, very basic functional movement for your body. So let's stay here for a little bit, especially if that gets challenging. Again, the invitation and the reminder that you should be doing this a little bit more. Stay with the breath. Very good. Now set that right foot down to the ground. Bring your left hand down to the ground. Your right heel rotates to the left side, to the mat. Reach your right arm up. So we are in a supported side plank on the left hand and on the left knee. Stay there, press into your left palm. Use those left fingertips to grip into the mat. That way you take more control over the wrists. Now feel the wrists, the left wrist one more time. Make sure you're pressing most of the weight down into the inside part of your left hand, right between the index finger and the thumb. If the shoulders are starting to talk to you, that's very good. Stay with the breath. It's all about the breath, like I said. And sometimes we use those more challenging poses to create distractions. And think of them as they want to only distract you from focusing on the breath. They want you to create these thoughts. How long do I have to hold? This is so hard. I thought that's a beginner class. You know, all that chatter in your voice, in your head that you don't need right now, it doesn't help you. Come back to the breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. It's all good. Let's release. Both hands down, both knees down. Back to tabletop. Very good. Now, warning, we're doing half a push-up here, but we're keeping the knees down so that we're not working too much. So stay on the knees. Press into the palms, shift forward, as far forward as you can. Then you bend your arms to lower all the way down to the ground. Very good. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders, keep the toes untucked, engage your glutes, press the feet into the mat. Lift the chest up, as high as you can, as well as the hands. Lower down. Lift up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and lower. Let's do 3 more. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Last one, lift, lower. And the last lift here, we're going to hold. Lift up high, squeeze your butt cheeks, squeeze the shoulder blades together, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release everything down. Shake out the hips, left and right. Beautiful job. Let's send the hips back for child's pose. So it's very similar to puppy pose, but the hips go now very close to the heels. If accessible, some of you, might not be able to do this, and that's perfectly fine. The hips might stay lifted because of any knee problems, any knee injuries. That's all good. Just stay there. You can also put a pillow underneath your hips and just stay in a child's pose more like this. Make this work for you. And again, remember, it's about the breath. Let's take 3 nice and slow breaths here, in and out through the nose. Very good. Let's come back to tabletop if you would like to continue. Let's do the other side. Extend your left leg back, the right arm forward for spine balancing again. Other side. Reach forward through the right fingertips, reach back through the left heel. Rotate the left hip a little more down, draw the navel in towards the spine, press into the left palm. We're activating the left shoulder. We're also using our back body, our right shoulder, the left glute. So much going on here in this position. It's such a beneficial pose. So keep doing it. Keep breathing. Very good. Last 2 breaths. You got this. Very good. Set the left foot down. Bring the right hand down. Rotate the left heel to the right side, to the ground. Reach your left arm up. Supported side plank. Now we are on the right hand. Keep pressing with the right fingertips into the ground. The left fingertips are reaching up towards the ceiling. Draw the navel in, pull the belly in, engage your glutes. Let's make this nice and active, a full body pose. Last 2 breaths, you're doing great. Last deep breath in. And exhale, release. Back to tabletop. Both hands down, both feet down, both knees down as well. Let's do 1 more of this half push-up with the knees down on the ground. Shift forward, come high onto the, come all the way forward. Push the ground away, then bend your arms. Keep the elbows in, close to the rib cage. Lower all the way down. Very good. Keep the toes untucked. Now extend the arms out to the side, just like a T. The thumbs are pointing down. Engage your glutes, press your hips into the ground, lift the chest and the hands up and lower. Let's do 5 more. Lift up and lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last 3, lift up, inhale. Exhale, lower. Last 2, lift up. You're doing great. Lower. Inhale, lift and hold. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. shoulders, straighten your arms, lift the hands higher up, lift the chest higher up, flex your butt cheeks. 5, 4, you're doing great. 3, 2, and 1. Release everything down. Beautiful job. Rock the hips left and right. Come back to the breath, in and out through the nose. You're still breathing, right? That's all good then. All good. All good, all good. Send the hips back to the heels. Child's pose. 3 breaths here. If the heart rate went up, now is the time to let it slow back down. Feel free to pause the video if you need a longer break. Otherwise, let's continue. Let's come into a tabletop again. Now come onto the toes. Lift your knees up off the ground. Send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. The hands are as wide apart as the shoulders, perhaps just a tiny bit wider, but you want to use the shoulders as the orientation. Keep the knees bent. Press into the palms. Use those fingertips to grip into the mat to again take control over your wrists. Move the chest towards the thighs, just so that you feel a sensation in the shoulders or in your armpits. Now from here you can lift the hips up and back more, perhaps straighten your legs, but keep that length in the upper body. Since that's a beginner class, most likely you want to keep the knees bent and just press into the palms, move the chest towards the thighs. So that's your downward facing dog for now and maybe for the next months. That's perfect. Focus on the breath in and out through the nose. Let's do 3 more breaths here. Keep pushing the ground away. Yes, the shoulders are working. Yes, you might be breathing faster. It might be a little bit challenging. It's all good. It's all good. Now start to walk the feet forward between the hands. Take a deep breath in, lift up halfway, hands to the shins, keep the legs straight. Exhale, forward fold. Very good. Let's do 2 more just like that. Inhale, lift up halfway, hands to the shins, nice and long spine. Exhale, forward fold. 1 more. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Now bend your knees, roll up through the spine to standing. Nice and slow. Take a deep breath in, engage your glutes. The arms reach up, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold again. Keep the legs straight, or bend them of course if you want to. But since we were focusing on the hamstrings, you kind of want to keep them straight. Even if that means your forward fold is more something like this. That's how I started as well, and it's all good. Over time, the body might open up. It might not. You might just stay here, but you can still focus on the breath, right? So it's perfect. You're practicing yoga. Very good. Now step the left foot back for a low lunge. Set the left knee down. Reach both arms up. You want to have the right knee kind of above the right heel, maybe a little bit more forward. More important is that you can see the right big toe inside the right knee, so that the right knee is not going too far in or too far out to the side. Reach both arms up. Engage your left glute. Shift the hips forward and down. At the same time, pull the right heel back. Push the left knee forward. So we're not just hanging out here, moving the hips forward. You want to make this nice and active in the lower body. Draw the navel in. Reach out through the arms upwards. Keep the breath going. Very good. Reach your left arm forward, the right arm behind you for an open twist. Now we have to use the core to rotate to the right. Lean back slightly, keep reaching out through the arms. Keep the breath going. In and out through the nose, that's all we're looking for. Very good. Release your left hand down inside the right foot. Come onto your left toes if you're not already. Lift your left knee up, straighten the leg, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Revolved side angle. Now you're having this straight line from the left hand on the ground, all the way up, reaching up through the right fingertips, through both arms. Keep the left leg straight, pull the belly in, rotate the chest to the right. Just 3 more breaths here. Release the left knee back down. Stay on the left toes if you want to. Rise back up for that twist, that low lunge open twist. Very good. Left arm is reaching forward. The right arm is reaching back. Reach both arms up and over your head. Back to low lunge, that position that we came from. Release the hands down. Maybe use blocks or books here if the ground is too far away. Straighten your right leg. Heel toe the right foot forward if you need to. I have to because I have long legs. And you want to have the left hip right above the left knee. That's why you want to perhaps heel toe the right foot forward. Very good. Come onto your fingertips or grab those books or blocks, whatever you have, to extend your reach. The right foot is flexed, the toes are pointing towards you. You lengthen out through the spine with a deep breath in. On your exhale, you fold forward and down. Very good. Couple more just like that. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Let's stay for 3 more breaths. Breathe into the back side of your right leg, your hamstring. If you're feeling it there, it's all good. Focus on the breath, nice and slow, how the air is coming in with the inhale, and how it's leaving your body with your exhale. Perhaps close your eyes. And release. Rebend the right knee. Heel toe the right foot back again. Very good. Place both hands on the ground. Runner's lunge. Your left knee is lifted. Press into your right palm. Now step the right foot back for plank pose. We're not here for too long, but I want you to push the ground away. Engage your glutes. Tuck your tailbone. Engage the core. So you're not in a straight plank line. You'll actually lift the hips a little bit higher up. Tuck your tailbone, engage the core. You're really pushing away. You're not just hang out here with straight arms. Push away. Very good. Now shift forward. Come high onto your toes. Then set the knees down. Bend your arms. Keep the elbows in. Lower all the way down to the ground. Very good. Slide the hands forward underneath the shoulders. Untuck your toes. Bring the feet wide apart. I recommend going as wide as your mat. That way you create more space in the lower back for the upcoming back bend. Engage your glutes, press into your palms, lift the chest up. Hold it there. Squeeze the elbows in. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Look down to the ground and breathe. Let's stay here for 5, 4, 3. Press into your palms, flex your butt cheeks. 2, 1, and release everything down. Beautiful job. Shake out the hips left and right. Send the hips back to child's pose. If you would like to continue, let's meet in downward facing dog. You can move through tabletop, come onto the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Very good. Lift your heels, walk the feet forward between the hands. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen out through the spine, hands to the shins, or fingertips on the ground, or blocks if you want. Exhale, fold forward and down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up and lengthen. Exhale to fold. Very good. Now bend your knees, slowly roll up through the spine to standing. Engage your glutes as you do so. Reach your arms up, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold again. Very good. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, step the right foot back for low lunge. Set the right knee down. Reach both arms up. You can stay on your right toes if you want. You can also untuck the toes. For myself personally, I like to stay on the right toes. Just feels better in my body. But it's really up to you. There's no right or wrong here. It really depends on the right knee. Send the hips forward and down. Now to make this active, pull the left heel back. Push the right knee forward. Breathe. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Engage your right glute. Reach out through the fingertips upwards. Breathe. Very good. Reach your right arm forward, the left arm back, open twist. So usually in this one you tend to lean forward, lean back more. Use that core more for the rotation to the left. Reach out through the arms, through the fingertips, breathe. Nice and slow through the nose. That's really all that matters. Very good. Bring that right hand down to the ground. Plant it down inside the left foot. Come onto your right toes. Lift your right knee up. Straighten the right leg. Revolved side angle. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Now if the ground is too far away with your right hand, feel free to use a block or a book to extend your reach. Draw the navel in. Pull the belly in. Rotate the chest to the left. Breathe. Just 3 more breaths. Very good. Release the right knee down. Rise back up for low lunge, open twist. Reach both arms up and over your head, low lunge. Let's take one more last deep breath in here. Exhale, release the hands down, half splits. Heel toe the left foot forward. Straighten your left leg. Make sure the right hip is right above the right knee. Come onto your fingertips. Use the blocks if the ground is too far away to extend your reach. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Very good. Let's do a couple more breaths here. And you might be looking at this video screen, what I'm doing here, and you think to yourself, what I'm doing looks nowhere close to, what you're doing at home, and that's perfectly fine. We need to let go of yoga being something that has to look a certain way. The simple question I want to ask you is, do you feel it in the back side of your left leg, your hamstring? If so, perfect. You're doing everything right. Then focus on the breath so we can also call it yoga and it's not just some stretching. Use the breath to be more present, be more here in the now, and use that feeling in the body to send the breath there. That's all good. Forget about how it looks, how deep I can go into this pose. I've been doing this every day for many, many years. So it might be your first time, and maybe you have been practicing for a while too. It's all good. Let go of how this should look. Rebend the left knee. Runner's lunge. Both hands down to the ground. Step the left foot back. Plank pose. Push the ground away. Straighten your arms, engage your glutes. Set the knees down. If that's too hard, set the knees down. You are in control. I'm not forcing you to keep the knees lifted. You can pause the video, you can set the knees down, modify. Now, shift forward as far as you can. Come high onto the toes. You decide, knees up or down. Start to bend your arms, come all the way down to the ground. Keep the elbows in. Very good. Untuck the toes, bring the feet wide apart. Slide the hands forward underneath your shoulders. Engage your glutes first. Flex your butt cheeks. Press into your palms. Lift the chest up. Cobra pose again. Draw the shoulders back and down away from the ears. Squeeze the shoulder blades together on your back. Flex your butt cheeks more. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5. Got you there again. 1. Release down. Very good. Shake out the hips, left and right. And then push back to child's pose. Hips to the heels and forward through tabletop. Come onto the toes. Downward facing dog. Send the hips up and back. Keep the knees bent if you need to. Let go of how downward dog should look with the heels to the ground, the legs straight. No one cares. As long as you feel this in the shoulders, you're pressing into the palms, push the ground away, it's all good. Breathe in and out through the nose. Let's do 3 more breaths just like that. Lift your heels up, bend your knees, walk the feet forward. Very good. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold and down. Bend your knees, roll up to standing, nice and slow. Engage the glutes, the arms reach up. Now bend your knees for chair pose. Send the hips back, bend the knees, either the feet and the knees apart or the feet and the knees together, you decide. Reach out through the arms, it's all good, stay with me here. I know the thighs are talking to you, your body is talking to you. It's all good. Last deep breath in. On your exhale, squat all the way down, maybe use your hands, maybe the heels lift up, it's all good. Set the hips down. Now bring the soles of your feet together for butterfly pose. You can grab the feet and then you fold forward and down, round your back. So in this one we're opening up the inner thighs, the groin area, also the lower back, upper back. Let's stay here for about 5 breaths. Doesn't matter again how deep you can go. Do you feel it in the inner thighs? Do you feel it in your lower back area? Maybe your upper back? If so, that's great. If not, you might need to go a little bit deeper without pushing your body too much. We're just looking for that sensation. That's the great thing about just starting out, being new to this practice. You feel this very fast, very quickly in the body, which is great. Then you stay there. And that's the moment where you start to invite the breath in and out through the nose. Send that breath out into the body, into the part where you feel this. That part where this pose, this shape creates a sensation in your body. Relax. Relax into it. Close your eyes if you want to. A very nice way to calm down. Slowly release. Wonderful job. Rise back up. Take your time to come out of the pose. Bring those feet down to the ground a little bit wider apart than the hips. Move the hips forward. Slowly come onto your back. Keep the knees bent. Try to not use your hands so we activate the core a little bit more. And that's set up for bridge pose. So you bring the heels close to the hips. The arms out by your sides, the palms are facing down. Press into the heels, lift your hips up. Come higher onto the shoulder blades, but be mindful here of your neck. If that doesn't feel good in your neck, then just lower the hips more down or skip this pose completely. What I want you to focus more on is activating the glutes. So really squeezing the butt cheeks to lift the hips up high. It's so important to keep the glutes active and strong, as well as your core. That can help prevent a lot of the problems and discomforts that can come up by sitting a lot, which a lot of us do. Just keeps everything healthy and in balance. Lift the hips even higher up, squeeze your glutes more. Let's stay here for 5, 4, 3, lift higher up, squeeze the butt cheeks. 2, 1, and release the hips down. Very good. Just hang out here. Keep the feet as they are. Just bring the knees together. Very good. Close your eyes if you want to. And let's finish up with a twist to both sides. Bring the feet close together. The knees together. Scoot your hips over to the right side and bring the legs all the way over to your left, down to the ground. Extend your right arm away from you and stay there. Breathe. You can place your left hand on top of your legs to add some extra weight. But resist doing any kind of pushing or pulling or pushing yourself deeper into the pose. It's really not necessary. It's more about relaxing into the twist. If you feel this in the upper body and in your spine, it's all good, like I said. Breathe in and out through the nose. You're doing fantastic. If it feels okay for your neck, you can rotate the head to the right side. So you look towards that arm and that hand that's extended away from you. If that doesn't feel good for your neck, then don't do it. Why would you force anything in this practice? Really doesn't make sense. If something doesn't feel good, don't do it. With the help of your left hand, bring your legs back to center. Nice and slow. And let's do the other side. So you scoot the hips over to the left and then bring the legs all the way down to the ground. Very good. Extend the left arm away from you. Place your right hand on top of your legs to add some extra weight. It's okay if the left shoulder lifts up. If it feels good for you, rotate the head to the left. So you are looking towards the left hand, that arm that's extended away from you. Close your eyes, a couple breaths here. Or several breaths, I should say. We're here for more than two. With the help of your right hand, slowly release. Help your legs back to center. Relax on your back. Breathe. Keep the eyes closed. And let's extend the legs forward for Savasana, the final pose of our practice. Bring the arms out to the sides. Take all the space you want and need. Your palms are facing upwards. If that's uncomfortable for the lower back, put a pillow or two underneath your knees. Do everything here to get comfortable, to set everything up. We're here for several minutes to finish up the practice, to relax, let go of controlling the breath, let the breath come back to its natural rhythm, just breathing in and out through the nose. The lips are still sealed. Relax your body. Let go of any tension you're holding on to so that the body can relax, restore, take a break. And use that time to go through everything the body needs to go through after a practice like this. And you just lean back and relax and feel the air coming in through the nose. Your belly lifts, the chest lifts, the lungs expand. And you exhale through the nose, the air is leaving your body again. What a beautiful sensation the breath is. It's keeping you alive 24 hours every day. So beautiful. Same with the heart, it's always beating. It's always there for you, supporting you, until it all stops. And so until that happens, we want to make the best out of our time and do something good for us, do something good for others. kind to ourselves. Be kind to other people, our friends, co-workers. Be kind to our partner, our family. And be kind to animals out there. Be kind to nature, so that everything and everyone can live in harmony and peace and in balance. Feel free to stay longer in this Savasana, this pose on your back. Take the time to relax. We all need it. And if you want to already go to the next thing and do the next thing, it's a sign that you need to stay longer in this. Even though you don't want to hear it, you should be staying longer. Thank you for joining me today in this practice. Great job. Going all the way to the end of the video, perhaps trying out something new. I am very proud of you. And you can be very proud of yourself. I'll see you in the next video with love and gratitude. Namaste.